This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Phil Laskowski coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, October 1st. NVIDIA Taiwan headquarters plan stalls as Taipei rejects land deal. Taiwan rejects US 50-50 chip idea, vows to protect national interest. And report indicates Taiwan re-exports Russian naphtha, creating sanction loophole. But first, today's top story. NVIDIA's plan to build its Taiwan headquarters in Taipei has hit fresh uncertainty after the city government rejected a proposed land transfer arrangement, citing concerns it could improperly benefit private interests. In May, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang unveiled the Constellation project, announcing the company would establish a major overseas headquarters at the Beito Shilin Technology Park. The decision capped years of searching for larger premises, as NVIDIA's Taiwan engineering teams had outgrown existing offices. The announcement was hailed as a milestone for Taiwan's AI ecosystem, reinforcing the island's role as a hub for semiconductor and computing supply chains. The project centered on the T17 and T18 plots of the park, where Shin Kong Life Insurance holds the surface rights. NVIDIA and Shin Kong signed a memorandum of understanding last year, but it expired at the end of September. Both parties reportedly favored a direct transfer of the rights from Shin Kong to NVIDIA, with NVIDIA offering compensation. Taipei officials, however, refused, warning that such a deal could breach regulations and appear to enrich a private developer. Taipei Mayor Jiang Wan-an said the city would only allow the project to proceed under two legal options. Shin Kong must either complete construction of the office complex before transferring it to NVIDIA or cancel its contract and return the land so Taipei can reassign the rights directly. He stressed any assistance would strictly follow legal procedures.
There
are two options. One option is to follow the contract. Shin Kong completes construction, obtains the usage permit, and then transfers it to NVIDIA. The other option is for both parties to agree to terminate the contract, after which the Taipei city government will reassign the surface rights to NVIDIA. So I think in all matters, we will fully provide assistance in accordance with the relevant contract provisions and procedures.
Taiwan's cabinet said on Wednesday that the idea of a Taiwan-US 50-50 semiconductor production split was a unilateral proposal from Washington and that Taiwan has made no commitments. Lawmakers from both major parties stressed that the priority should remain on securing reciprocal tariff reductions without stacking most favored nation rates. The tariff talks are nearing their conclusion. A delegation led by Vice Premier Cheng Li-jun and Office of Trade Negotiations lead trade negotiator Yang Zhenni wrapped up a fifth round of in-person negotiations with the U.S. officials in Washington late last month and returned to Taiwan early Wednesday. Asked about U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's comments on Sunday suggesting a 50-50 chip arrangement, Cheng told reporters at Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport that Taiwan had never made such a pledge and would not accept such conditions. Democratic Progressive Party legislator Rosalia Wu said Taiwan's semiconductor supply chain gives the nation critical global leverage and negotiators are focused on securing the greatest benefits. She urged the public not to speculate so talks can proceed smoothly.
In
the course of negotiations, we can all observe that Taiwan has indeed accumulated a powerful semiconductor supply chain capacity over the past decades. When the whole world needs Taiwan, we must play this important role and act as the key player in the global non-China supply chain. That is what Taiwan must do. As for matters still under negotiation, we should not engage in too much speculation. Let the negotiating team stay focused and strive for the greatest benefits for Taiwan.
KMT legislator Ke Zhi-en said the plan would be deeply unfair to TSMC and the nation's technological development, warning against making unequal concessions simply to secure lower tariffs.
This point must be made very clear. I think the idea of a 50-50 chip split is completely unfair to TSMC. From start to finish, it has been TSMC doing the research and development and also the production. Now you want to take something that has already reached its timeline and is fully mature and then give away 50%? I don't think anyone negotiates like that. So this is something that absolutely cannot be accepted.
The Office of Trade Negotiations said Taipei would safeguard national and industrial interests and that a trade agreement would only be signed once both sides reach full consensus. Taiwan has become a significant importer of Russian naphtha since the start of Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, with shipments refined locally and turned into petrochemical products for export. According to a report released Wednesday by the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, the Earth Rights Foundation, and vows. The report found that Taiwan imported billions of dollars worth of Russian naphtha between 2022 and 2025, with purchases accelerating in 2024. Unlike liquefied natural gas or coal, naphtha is a petroleum product used as a feedstock in Taiwan's petrochemical sector. It is processed into chemicals that form the base for plastics, solvents, and other materials, many of which are exported abroad. These naphtha derivatives are also critical inputs for Taiwan's downstream industries, including printed circuit boards, PCBs, and semiconductors. As the report notes, Taiwan's position in global electronic supply chains means that Russian-origin fossil feedstock, once refined and re-exported, can be embedded in high-value technology products. The Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, the Earth Rights Foundation, and vows said this practice effectively turns Taiwan into a re-export hub for Russian fossil fuels, undermining international efforts to curb the Kremlin's revenues. The groups urged Taipei to strengthen transparency in sourcing and reduce its reliance on fossil feedstocks by investing in renewable and alternative materials. The findings highlight how discounted Russian oil products continue to find markets in Asia despite Western sanctions, and how Taiwan's industrial demand has helped sustain flows of Russian naphtha into global supply chains. A digital superhero created a website platform to connect volunteers with relief needs as efforts continue in Guangfu Township, Hualien. Recovery efforts continue in Hualien's Guangfu Township following the recent Matai-an disaster, where people from across Taiwan are pitching in by donating money, sending supplies, or volunteering on the ground. In addition to those working in mud boots with shovels, another group of professionals has applied their skills online, creating a digital platform to match volunteers with relief needs, making aid delivery more efficient. The new website displays detailed grids marking what the disaster zone requires, from labor assistance to supply storage areas, allowing recovery work to proceed more smoothly. Behind the initiative is 27-year-old Dora Kuo, whom locals are calling a digital superhero. A graduate of National Pingdong's University's Department of Biomechatronics Engineering, Kuo has been involved in programming and recently started developing non-profit websites focused on public causes such as pet blood donations and fraud prevention. As her uncle lives in Hualien, Kuo spent more than 30 hours during the 3-day holiday building the platform, which has already attracted more than 12,000 users. She says the rapid growth demonstrates how technology can accelerate relief operations by clearly showing where human resources and supplies, including meals, shelter, or mud storage, are most needed. Although she admits the process was exhausting, Kuo says the encouragement from her sister and the public kept her motivated. "Even if I'm tired, it's worth it," she notes. As Hualien's recovery journey continues, grassroots efforts like Kuo's online platform reflect how ordinary citizens across Taiwan are stepping up to become everyday heroes. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te met on Tuesday with Luke Lindbergh, U.S. Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs, to discuss agricultural trade and food security. Taiwanese companies plan to purchase $10 billion worth of American agricultural products, including soybeans, wheat, corn, and beef, over the next 4 years. "I hope that by importing high-quality feed ingredients, we can accelerate Taiwan's livestock industry production efficiency and that American agricultural products will also help strengthen Taiwan's food security," Lai said. The meeting took place amid ongoing U.S.-Taiwan tariff negotiations and comes on the heels of Taiwan's latest agricultural trade mission to the United States. Lai emphasized that Taiwan is now the 7th largest export market for American agricultural products, while the U.S. is Taiwan's top source of agricultural imports, reflecting strong and mutually beneficial economic ties. Lindbergh led a 25-person trade delegation to Taiwan and announced a new policy expanding market access for Taiwanese pineapples, expressing hope that bilateral agricultural and trade cooperation will continue to grow. Both sides underlined their commitment to resilient supply chains and further collaboration in agricultural technology, food safety, and economic security. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Phil Leskowski. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.